Greetings folks, look what I bought. It's another Bixler. This is the, they call it the Bixler V2, but it's like a rejuvenated Bixler 1.1. I have the 3, I have the 2, why not have the whole set? Actually I have an old Bixler 1.1, but it's a pure slope soarer, that one. I'm a sucker for a Bixler. I saw it come up on Hobby King, new motor, new ESC, so I thought, oh well, better have one of these. So here it is, let's have a look at it. I'm often getting asked for recommendations for the best beginner's plane, and this could well be a candidate. The Bixlers all fly beautifully. Bixler 3 has a few little tip stalling issues. Bixler 2 is brilliant, one of my favourite planes. Bixler 1, I have heard, is a cool, sporty little version. A little bit smaller, a little bit cheaper, possibly better for a beginner. No flaps, just ailerons. This is the plug and play, so it has the motor already installed. Rudder there, just foam hinges, is it? Yeah, just foam hinges. I kind of like the lime green decals, or stickers. 20 amp ESC Aero Star XT60 plug. Spar there with a nice little sort of spacer in the middle. Good looking little hatch cover or cockpit. Horizontal stabiliser. It is just foam hinges. That has a spar going through there, that's nice. Cool colour scheme, and I like the black bars on the bottom too for visibility. And the wings, that's sort of an interesting sort of swept back pointed wingtip on there. Quite big ailerons. We have some ply washers there, or hard points where it would screw through into the body, I guess, from the top. So it screws down from the top to secure the wings. Nice looking foam, pretty solid. And we've got a spar tube in there that this one slips into. Very good. Spare prop, bit of Velcro, control horns, wing bolts and push rods as well. There's no instruction manual included, so I guess there's a download one on the Hobby King website. Looks like that just glues together in there and that down into there. And we have the aileron wires taped on there. It's labelled there so you can't get it wrong. Connected up, if you were being safe you'd tape them up as well. Pull them through so they don't get snagged up. Oh, there we go. Now we're in. Now we're slotted in. That seems pretty good. So now I'm putting the control horns on the rudder and the elevator and the ailerons. They look like reasonable control horns, nothing too wrong with them. You just have to work out which side they go on. The rudder goes on the right hand side, the elevator goes on the left hand side, looking from the back of the plane. Make sure it's actually going into the hole. Yes it is, that's good. If I had a 3D printer I'd be printing up my own. I think these bottom pads are never big enough really. That's looking good. Elevator now, same thing, and it's on the bottom. Just tighten them up until they snug down. You don't want to squeeze too much of the foam. Just check that's on the right side. Yes, it is. Bolts do sit up a fair bit. I think I'll clip them off eventually. Now these servo arms are laying down there. I'm pretty sure they must have been just pushed down. So I'm going to connect up the aileron cable using a servo tester and see if they centre up. There you go, so they popped up into the right spot. They are pre-centred, that's great. The top hole has been drilled out, I think, so it looks like they want us to go into the top hole, fair enough. Adjust it to length. Ailerons are level with the servo arm in a neutral position. I'd like to put a little band over there, little safety band over there. I'll do that later on. Same for the other aileron now. So let's have a look at the throws that gives us. That's quite a lot of throws. That's about 20 millimeters up and down, 25 millimeters even. That's a lot of throws, but might be fun to have that. We'll see when we fly it anyway. I can always add expo and rates and things like that in the programming. Oh, and while we're here, here's access to the elevator and rudder servos. It's good to know. Little magnet hatch. Easy access, I like that. Now, what sort of glue to attach the tail? Yoo-hoo is a good one. You could use hot glue as well, I guess. Yoo-hoo will be a little bit lighter in the tail, so I'll try that. Glue the tail on to the horizontal stabiliser first. Only problem with Yoo-hoo is that it's a contact cement. If you leave it long enough, it will actually grip as soon as you put them together, so you don't get any chance to move your surfaces around into the right spot. If you bring them together sort of a little bit before it dries, tack dry, then you do get a little bit of leeway. Just going to let it dry for a minute or two. Push down hard, and you want to make sure it's vertical. Look at that, that's not vertical. There we go, that's pretty good. That fits nicely. Alright, we'll just let that set a bit and connect up the push rods. I think this rudder push rod is a little bit too long, so I'm going to have to clip off about 5 mils at the end of it. There we go. It's a bit better. Now the elevator. That's a better length. So the weight at that is about 755 grams. Now time to fly. Bixler 1.1 V2 Maiden Flight. Not too much wind around, but it's going to get windy later, so I've got to fly it now or never. 2200 3S right up in the nose. Balances it right on the recommended CG, which is quite a way back actually. It's on these servo wires here, which is about 70 millimeters back, which is 35%. Very interesting. Final check. Ailerons are going the right way. Lots of throws on the ailerons. Elevator and rudder going the right way. Time to throw. Oh, what I've done is taped up the leading edge and sort of a third of the way back, top and bottom. I've taped up the nose and the bottom here just to preserve it a bit. Gives a nice grip. This is sort of Scotch transparent tough tape, really good stuff. And 60 micron clear packing tape on the leading edge. Bit of wind popping up. Here we go. Beautiful. Dropping back the throttle down to a third of the way back. Oh, this is so awesome. It's like a sportier version of the Bixler 2 for sure. Look at that, I can just crank it around, no problems at all. Don't get silly though. So
Bit of wind bumping it around. The trim is absolutely perfect. What a beautiful plane. Decals look good in this dull light. Just cruising it around myself. Do the old dizzy test. This is awesome. Whoa, that'll do me. Oh God. All right. Bit of speed. Although we've got enormous ailerons and lots of throws, it's not aggressive in the roll at all. Loop, can loop tight loops, very nice. There's the roll rate, that's full roll rate, which is quite nice really. Alright, so throttle right back down and we'll see how we can cruise really slowly. There is some wind popping up now. This is a nice slow cruise, having to hold a little bit of back elevator. That is gorgeous. A bit more grunt to turn it into a downwind run. Third throttle now, and that's plenty to fly it around on. The motor isn't horribly whiny and noisy like the Bixler 2 and the Bixler 3 motors are. I like that. Bit of wind slowing it down a bit there. Glide. It's going to glide beautifully. Yes, I'm actually in a wind shadow behind those trees over behind me, so I'm getting some turbulence. Let's glide it in. What a gorgeous plane. So easy. So smooth, even in a little bit of wind turbulence. Stable, easy to fly. Just like a Bixler should be. CG seems perfect where it is on those servo wires. 35% back. That is interesting. I'll do a bit of stall testing now, just to see what happens when you induce a stall. Okay. That just does a nice controlled level stall and picks up lift again. There it is, nice and even. Excellent, no dramas at all. That's lovely. That's very controlled. That's good. Nice and stable. Full throttle pass. Cool. Oh, we've got the lawnmower coming out. I better head off. Okay, so this is a wonderful plane. Really like it. Nice upgrade to the 1.1, I think. Although I haven't actually flown a powered 1.1. So that's a lovely plane. Easy to fly, fast, slow. You can do some reasonable aerobatics with it. Nice and stable. It'd be a good beginner's plane, good intermediate plane. You could FPV it, you could slope soar it, you could even thermal it, I think. Very nice.